Yeah.
Whew. That's crazy, actually. Year number two of straight consistency, of straight fire, straight knowledge and drama. Here on episode 53 on the Block to Block podcast, the best podcast in the world for all things Web3. Here we break down the technology, what's going on in the market, and the ways in which you can benefit. I am NFT and Jai,
And I am Web3 Wayne.
and over here the talk is different.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We keep it different. And listen, New Year, it don't make no difference. It's gonna be the same us. We're gonna stay grinding. We're gonna keep giving you this block to block. And we also gonna keep giving you this disclaimer. So listen, this podcast is for informational purposes only. By no means are we responsible if you lose your cheese, cheddar, mozzarella, provolone. Yes, we are telling you to use this podcast and then take it to a financial advisor or any other financial professional. So, with that, let's get the pod started.
Let's get the pod started, man. I am amped. 2 years or year two, I should say, right? Because we had the 1 year anniversary last week. Check it out on
Yeah,
episode
yeah.
52. So this starts the how do you say, the race towards year two.
The race towards year two. Yeah, man, it's exciting to see the progress, man. If we could be nothing else, let us be a testament to consistency. Look, you might not see it right now, but consistency has paid off for us in ways that you know you see before others will, and I think that's a blessing in itself to give that to ourselves, that consistency, and then that reward of consistency. So let us at least be a testament to the fact that consistency pays off in the long run. If
Mm.
you out there and you listen to this and you may have had a down day, listen, let us be your inspiration for the day, man. We did every week during the podcast, we figured out a way to put this on. We stayed consistent. We stayed at it. And it's paid off for us. So, like I said, if you out there, you going through some things, you need that motivation. Keep going, man. Keep going. It's gonna pay off in the long run. You may not see it today, you may not see it tomorrow. Hell, you may not see it next month, but you keep going. Eventually, you're gonna see that payoff. So, man, testament to let us testify to the fact that bring them to church right quick. We've been consistent in this
Mhm.
thing. Mm-hmm.
Wade in the water.
Yeah, this is Negro spirituals. I said testify, not not
You
anyway.
see, in the Baptist church of block to block. Anyway, let me stop. But yeah, you're right though. And what's very important and what helps me a lot personally is just the notion of taking it one day at a time. Like oftentimes it's very easy to just get overwhelmed with whatever it is you're going through at the present moment. But sometimes you just gotta take a step back and just say, let me
Uh-huh.
just get through the day. And then you just repeat that every single day. Just get through the day. In the words of Steve Harvey, oftentimes we believe we have those days when we just can't get through, that we're downtrodden, we're down on our luck. We don't know how we're going to advance. But if you think about all of those moments when you had those thoughts, realize that you passed those days. Like you're here right now. And so
Yeah,
that's what we're doing here through the Block to Block podcast, just really curating this community when we can all learn and grow together. And hopefully we say some gems that you can find that you can apply to other areas of your life outside of just like tech or entrepreneurship, but just life in general, you know?
absolutely, absolutely. I love that. And sometimes if you can't take it by day, take it second by second. Breathe and move forward. That's all you got to focus on.
Shoot, minute by minute, hour by
Absolutely.
hour.
Look, we gonna keep going. We gonna keep going. Um, but man, I heard you had some exciting things happen this past weekend. I heard you were in the presence of some greatness. I think we need to hear more about that, man. Definitely give us the inside look.
Yeah, man. So I was this past weekend, I was in Atlanta to in attendance for Invest Fest, which if you do not know, this was the third year of this festival. But Invest Fest is put on by the platform Earn Your Leisure, which is a financial literacy and business media platform. Which teaches the community like practical ways in which you can get into like investing in business and really
Yeah,
your leisure,
yeah,
right? By getting these apps,
yeah. Shout
right?
out to EYL.
Shout
Shout
out
out
to
to
EYL.
EYL.
And so this was their third year in which they just had a combination of just like some of the most prominent people within our community who are like doing amazing things in terms of entrepreneurship. So there was people there from just like there was a vendor marketplace where it was just like over 400 vendors of different entrepreneurs with different services, whether they're in like financial services, cosmetics, beauty brands, fashion brands, educational brands, book brands, like all types of companies, very, very diverse. Then there was like panels from the latest in tech, such as like AI, to to different industries, such as like sports, real estate, and like they just have very prominent individuals there, right? So like your entrepreneurs you may have seen on like the Instagram to some of the most important entrepreneurs of our generation, such as the Robert Smith, who is the CEO and founder of Vista Equity Partners, and he's the richest black man within the United States. So it was just a jam-packed experience in terms of just the energy. There was 20,000 people in attendance, all types of amazing entrepreneurs. And of course, I'll be remiss if I didn't shout out our boy, Zeke. You know, Mr. Zeke Sneak of Streetwear Connections, who was featured on a previous episode, who we also did an event with in Atlanta. He definitely held me down in Atlanta for that weekend, and it was great. And which you'll see in future episodes, but we was wearing the first batch of the Streetwear Connections Timbuktu wearable merch, man. So we have like this.
Yes,
We got merch, y'all. Shoot.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Limited edition street wearables, first of its kind. Listen, man, we bringing innovation across industries. This is not a you know play in only one space type of situation.
Oh yeah.
Innovation is live and well.
Innovation meets drip.
You feel me?
Timbuktu and Streetwear Connections.
You dig
So
me?
definitely check out our IG, man. We're gonna be posting it there, and we're gonna talk about ways in which you can get your own streetwear Bills merch in the future. So stay tuned. But yeah, man, just some key lessons from that experience that I want to share with you all that I think you'll find, very useful is like, especially if you're like an entrepreneur, is number one, you have to be outside. So
Mm,
when I say be outside, I don't mean like, oh, you gotta be out here turning up or, engage in debauchery like some co-hosts of mine. What I mean is be outside in terms of like, really connecting with people who are in like the same wavelength of thought as you, right? If you're someone who wants to like get to that next level of whatever it is that you want to do, you have to join a like-minded community, right? So InvestFest was like one example. And it was great because I was just talking with like anybody I can talk with, right? Even if they don't seem as though they can have a direct correlation to what you do, still exchange information and, follow up, send out those emails, right? Because you never know who knows who, right?
hmm
You may be someone who's in, I don't know, you're in like fashion, you have a clothing brand, right? And you're talking to this person who has like a book pub, they publish books. And you may be thinking, oh, there's no direct correlation. But who knows? Maybe that person knows a manufacturer that can help you with the production of your clothing line, right? You never know who knows who. So be outside, network, connect, and follow up, and there's so many more gems in terms of what I've learned from that experience, but we'll keep it going. I don't want to like bore you guys too much, but man, be outside. And more importantly, like, comment, subscribe, and share it with your loved ones, man. Watch every episode of
Yes,
Block to Block.
yes, yes, yes. For sure, for sure. Yeah, I really like that, and I like the. Feel like what you're saying is find ways to soak up game from whoever you talk to.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's part of the benefits of being outside is that you're able to have conversations otherwise you wouldn't have, right? You get outside
Mhm.
of your circle, you get outside your comfort zone a little bit. And that's where a lot of the growth happens is when you
Yep.
step outside of your comfort zone and you say, hey, I'm going to put myself out there.
Mm,
Shout out to Ty Brown. He gave us some great advice early on in our most recent journey as entrepreneurs and said, hey, you know, before things can start to change, there has to be a mindset change for you. And becoming and embodying, this, entrepreneur or embodying an entrepreneur. And I think it was great advice because we were doing this entrepreneurship thing, but we hadn't fully, you know, immersed ourselves in the thinking of an entrepreneur. And sometimes taking those risks and taking those chances and being outside for your business
mhm.
specifically, right, and intentionally, um, that means a lot, and even if you might not see again, you might not see the results then and there, but there are things that are going to come from that that you don't see, and there's energy that you're putting out there
Mm.
that comes back to you as a result. So love, love, love your takeaways there, and I think it speaks to what we do with this podcast, right? And what I'm trying to do with my quick takes. Matter of fact, let's get into the quick take for today. And yes, today we are talking about Swift and Chainlink, who had successful experiments in moving tokenized assets across different blockchains. And just as a quick refresher, Swift is a system that helps banks and financial institutions communicate with each other. So right now, those banks and financial institutions, when they want to settle payments or they want to, communicate, this is, the balance. If they want to, communicate transactions, Swift is the system that is doing that. On the
Mm.
other hand, Chainlink is a platform that connects different blockchains, which are like digital record keeping systems. Remember, they are public ledgers. They are ways to keep account of what's going on, quote unquote, transactions on this public ledger, on this blockchain. So back in June, both organizations announced they were partnering on this initiative to see if they can move tokenized assets across chains, right? So big banks like BNP Paribas and BNY Mellon and Lloyd's Banking Group joined Swift and Chainlink in these experiments. They successfully moved tokenized value like digital assets across various blockchains in their tests. This achievement could make it easier, right, for tokenized assets to grow and be used globally. And we use that term tokenized assets, and they use the term tokenized assets because it can be applied across the board, right? It's not just crypto, it's not just cash. Tokenized assets in general is something that is going to be huge when it comes to blockchain. And many financial institutions want to use tokens to make financial markets better, specifically, right? A report from Hong Kong's monetary authority said tokens could help make bond markets more efficient and transparent. If you don't know, the bond market is huge. So to hear that is something that I'm sure a lot of people in that bond market love to hear, and they love hearing that these experiments are proven that this can be something that can happen. So Swift and Chainlink uses technology called cross-chain interoperability protocol to connect different blockchains. This technology went live in July and helps create connections between different blockchains. And Swift's innovation officer, Tom Zishak, mentioned that their work shows how Swift's system can help make tokenization even better. The project highlighted the need for clear rules from regulators for tokenization as we move into this future of tokenized assets. And future efforts will also focus on keeping people's data private during these processes, something I'm sure we all want to make sure happens. And with that, that's our quick take for today.
Yeah. Fire quick
Yes,
take as
sir.
usual. Fire quick take as usual. So this is very interesting because oftentimes when throughout the duration of this podcast, we've been saying like how everything blockchain and Web3 related is very dope, right? It's interesting. It has the power to do so much, but like the infrastructure isn't there for it to really be impactful from like a mass market or like global perspective, right? But now we're seeing this collaboration or this experiment in which we're starting to see like a possible solution for like one of the biggest issues of like blockchains, the fact that they can't communicate with each other and they can't like move like your crypto or your nfts from one chain to like another. So this is interesting.
Yeah,
Like, what do you think?
yeah, for sure, for sure. And to add to that, right? I think as if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, if you are even just, regular professional who is watching this, I think it's something to keep your eye on,
Right.
right? And from the standpoint of, you know, one, are you in some business that can be a tokenized asset? I
Mhm.
think that's going to be the future of what we're looking at. I know banks may really, play into this. It may be another source of, revenue for your business. It's something you should look into, right? Take that little tidbit of, okay, they're looking at moving tokenized assets. What are tokenized assets,
Right.
right? What could be tokenized assets in the future, right? What is currently not necessarily something that is, but can be, and I think from a global markets perspective, this changes the game in that way as well, right? When we talk about moving across blockchains and we talk about tokenizing assets, and we're talking about somebody like Swift, right? Right now, things have to go through Swift's, technology, their clearinghouse, for it to move not only between financial institutions, but uh, also across borders, right? And this is a technology that could help change that, or right, help to make that process more efficient. So it's just something to keep an eye on. Where there's a lot of innovation that could come out of this. Definitely look into tokenized assets. Look into what Swift and um, Chainlink are doing. I think the base of it is that blockchain technology is going to underpin a lot of our institutions, a lot of our businesses, and so just having some base understanding that this blockchain is this ledger, right? There's multiple blockchains, there's multiple ledgers, and to be able to communicate across ledgers just gives us a lot of opportunities. And I think that's the major takeaway here is that there are opportunities that are coming. Make sure to understand interoperability, and ability to move across different blockchains.
Yeah. So another thing, just to add on with that, as we like talk about Swift, right? Like Swift, I don't want you guys to miss this gem right here of the fact that, as we talked about like blockchain and other technologies just in general, of like how, oh, it's going to disrupt the current order of things or the status quo. What's important to note is Swift, which has been in place for many, many years, is like proactively partnering up with Chainlink in order to like make this happen. Right. And I just want you guys to like really think about that, right? It's not like the blockchain technology is just coming in. Like the status quo type organization or initiative is proactively partnering with it. And what's also interesting is like if you just like do a quick Google search, right? Like Swift isn't owned by like a single entity, right? It's really like this cooperative of all of these different stakeholders or entities. Many of them being like overseen by like central banks within like the G10 countries, right? So we're talking about like the top countries with like the most economic prowess in the world. So it just goes to show that, once again, as we always like to say, don't think this blockchain technology is a fad or like fall for
I mean,
the okie dokie news. Like,
we'd be remiss if we didn't also mention the timing of this, right? During
yeah,
what people would deem a crypto winter, you have the biggest institutions, you have, this huge
going in.
technology that, like you said, is basically managed by the top 10 countries of the world in terms of GDP. Why is that, right? Like, we're in a crypto winter, but it seems like this institution is gearing up for something more.
Oh yeah.
So
You see, don't fall for the okie doke, y'all.
please don't.
Everybody is submitting filings for Bitcoin ETFs.
You feel me?
All these major institutions are using the technology.
BlackRock.
We shout out to Larry Fink
You
and
know what I'm
them.
saying?
Shoot, so
You know what that means, Larry
big.
Fink? You know what that means, Larry Fink?
They call him Big Fink.
Not the little one. Not the little one. You know?
Right.
They definitely gonna use that clip for our our Illuminati conspiracy video. See how he beats his chest twice and does the peace sign that equals 4.
You
All
see,
right, let me not do that. Let me not do that on live stream. Anyway.
we're gonna have a block to block conspiracy episode in the future. See, we talk about NFTs, but really, we need to be in. How about Bitcoin?
We need to be
But what they bit
right. We need to be
was the concept.
NFT, which means free throw, because you got to do 1 point at a time, and then the other team gets the ball.
They talk about it's immutable, but sorry, shout out to all my conspiracy theorists. We all had that phase back in high
You know
school.
what I'm saying?
Oh man, they're gonna be mad.
Best episode yet.
But yeah, man, don't fall for the okie doke. Always realize that innovative technology is almost always going to be adopted by the larger organizations. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, yeah. Or
And
the
speaking,
people that has the innovative technology will then become the big business. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go. Speaking of what, it sounded like you was about to get into something. What we speaking
right,
of?
my segue. Speaking of big organizations adopting innovative
Yeah,
technologies, your boy Elon Musk, owner of X, formerly known as Twitter, has been recently acquiring licenses in multiple US states to process payments, including crypto. So, if you don't know, Elon Musk is, of course, has the platform X, which used to be known as Twitter, so it's still kind of weird to say X. But they've been obtaining money or currency transmitter licenses in 7 US states, those being Maryland, New Hampshire, Connecticut, California, Florida, Illinois, and Rhode Island.
can I say something
And
right quick? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
I know this is definitely, we got to name this episode the conspiracy episode, because I just realized we got to be living in a simulation. This man's name is Elon Musk, and it just hit me that the name is so similar to Egyptian Musk, and it just blows my mind. I don't know why. I feel like it's gotta be a simulation thing. It's the only thing that makes sense. It's the only thing that makes sense. Like, he took over an app called Twitter. You had tweets because the birds be on Twitter. Never mind. Please go ahead. I'm gonna stop. I'm
Hmm.
gonna stop.
You see, think about it, because the birds be tweeting.
I'm
But now
anyway. shout out to X.
Shout out to X. But we've been using it for years. But yes, so these
Two
licenses
X's.
allow X to process payments, including cryptocurrency, on their platform. And so now Egyptian Musk, as what Three Wayne likes to call him, he's hinted at, in the past that they may support cryptocurrency within the platform. And these licenses really put them in position to do so. Now, X hasn't really announced any formal plans of offering cryptocurrency payments, but the company has been hiring for positions related to cryptocurrency. So you can read in between the lines there. And then also, as we know, Egyptian Musk or Elon Musk, he has stated like how he wants X to be more than just a social media platform. He wants it to be a platform of everything, right? Where you can do all major activities from like your social engagement to your financial payments to anything else really on the platform. And so this really hints at a long-term strategy in which we can probably see cryptocurrency being a part of the overall X platform. And so, as we know, this has gotten some mixed reactions from the overall crypto community. Some people are excited about, hey, this could be the point or like one of the things that help make cryptocurrency even more widely adopted and more mainstream. But others are concerned about the how crypto may be used for like illegal activities on the platform, right? So there's like mixed reaction overall. But with that being said, this could be a positive sign towards crypto as a whole, as it looks like X may be in a position to start adopting cryptocurrency payments. So, what Three Wayne? What do you think?
I think
What conspiracy?
I think Egyptian Musk is a genius. He y'all don't see the vision. I see the vision. Egyptian Musk is trying to get them Twitter freaks paid. I see the vision. We know what that crypto going. He trying he trying to compete with the he trying to compete with OnlyFans. We know.
Right.
I see the
That's
vision.
why.
I see
That's
the
why he
vision.
called it X, right? And he's trying to 3x growth. And when you have three X's, what does that mean? Think about it.
Think about it. Oh man, Egyptian Musk. Listen, hey bro, I doubted your genius for a little bit. I see the vision now, bro. I seen the
Mm.
vision. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple bookmarks I ain't proud of. Don't go fact check that. Don't go fact check that. But listen, this is the conspiracy episode. So, you know,
They like they're like, is this what we can expect for year two?
year two is all about conspiracies. You know what I'm saying? That's how you grow. Sometimes you got to find the truth in between, you know what I'm saying, the extremes. And that's what, you know what I'm saying? That's what we trying to, you know what I'm saying? What they said on next Friday? I'm trying
Always move on the green, never in
between.
between.
Oh man, nah. But on a more serious note, I think, man, it goes back to something we spoke about in season two, right? And we talked about, the um how regulation and government plays into, the health of an ecosystem, especially when it comes to innovation. And I think as much as it matters in terms of like stifling innovation or encouraging innovation, I think it also gives a competitive advantage, right? And I think that, this is really, this is, I guess, it's dope to see, right? Like this platform taking on crypto, but in some
Mm-hmm.
ways, it really, it saddens me a little bit that they're getting these licenses to operate, and at the same time, companies that have been in the game and have worked to ensure that you know um, the crypto industry is presented in a way that could be then transformed into something seen legitimate and something that is not a breeding ground for illegal activities, really just get demonized by organizations like the SEC, and really brought through the ringer
Mhm.
for then a company like X to come through and just kind of skate on by. And so that I think that it's a good thing to see. I love what they're doing there. I think it makes sense business wise, but I really I really do see just um, some unfair advantages that's given to a company that's really just you know stealing others' thunder, if you will. Which I understand it's business, but like I said, it's tough to see. If you've been keeping up, you've been watching Block to Block, you've heard us talk about Coinbase going through the ringer. You've heard us talk about how the SEC has been very inconsistent, and has gone after certain companies. And yeah, so for them,
Mhm.
X to come back around and get licenses and do this, that, and the third, I think you know, it is what it is.
So, key lesson: if you want to be able to maneuver the political system, right, and be in the best position for yourself and your organization, you gotta get that bag, man. You gotta have that bag.
And if you business owner, listen, don't doubt the power of politicking. Politicking will take you a long way as
Mhm.
well. It's yeah.
You know, these these wise shall these wise philosophers for the slums of Shaolin used to say, "Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money,
Dollar
dollar bill, y'all."
bill, y'all. Poetry,
You see,
philosophy, words to live by.
philosophy. Yeah. I don't know what the hell is going on in this episode, man. This has been a fun one.
We had to start season 2 off hot, man. We had to start it off hot.
Right. Year two, baby. The year of the
The year of the
conspiracy.
conspiracy. Shout out to Egyptian Musk. Shout out, shout out to the single X.
Right. We see you trying to
We
3x it. We see you, baby.
understand. We get it. Shout out to the Twitter freaks.
Shout out to Big
Yo, Big
Fink,
Fink.
right? Our
Big Fink.
secret handshake. Everyone be
Oh
like, you
man.
see, them block to block boys, they sold out.
Well, shit. I don't know what to tell you.
You don't know what to tell you. Besides, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and you tune in
Yeah.
every week for us to bring you these different stories that's happening within the industry. And more importantly, digest these episodes to see like how can you take some of the gems and really apply it to your situation. Even if you're not in tech yourself, but like see like, hey, what can I do in order to really elevate whatever my aspiration may be?
Yeah. Yeah.
So definitely stay tuned. We got a lot more fire coming for y'all for more events, to the new merch, to just
New
everything, man. There's so many
conspiracies.
surprises. The conspiracies. We're going to show you the secret block to block handshake. And yeah, what you'll learn once you subscribe and you share out.
Yeah.
So we appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great one. I'm NFT and John.
Nayab Web 3 Wayne.